In this video, I'm going to tell you something that helped me over the last 10 years of watching Bitcoin videos on YouTube. I've been watching videos about Bitcoin on YouTube since 2015. I've been working for Bitcoin companies since 2019. And I've talked to thousands of people, both in person and online, talked to thousands of people about their journey in Bitcoin, all the way from beginner to expert, being in it for a ton of years. And this is going to help you. Before we go further, if you can smash the like button, it's totally free. It takes a half a second, just smash the like button. Helps get good Bitcoin content out there. So now, why does 0.21 matter? Why do I always talk about this number 0.21? It's because of this. There's a 21 million hard cap of 21 million Bitcoin, right? And then sats, there's all the way out to the 8th decimal place is how Bitcoin is measured, right? And that very smallest unit is called a sat. So you'll hear people talk about that too. But the reason why having 0.21 Bitcoin or 21 million sats is an interesting, kind of important goal, I think, for a lot of people is because of this. There's only ever, so if there's 21 million, that means a million people could hold 21 Bitcoin, right? That means 10 million people could hold 2.1 Bitcoin, right? So 100 million people could own 0.21 Bitcoin. And at the exchange rate of today, so today, just call it rough exchange rate of $60,000 US dollars for one Bitcoin, right? And then 0.21 is a little over a fifth, right? So let's do the math on that, or let's do a little bit less than a quarter. I'm doing it super rough right now, okay? So it's between $10,000 and $15,000, okay? Based on when you see the video, based on what the exchange rate is, $10,000 or $15,000, right? That's a good amount to have saved. Like, that's a great amount of money that you could do a lot of things with. It's a great, emergency fund for some people. It's a great, vacation for some people. It's just a great thing, a good solid number, right? But having that solid number of US dollars is not very big, like quote unquote big or wealthy or rich or set for life or kind of like retirement. Like, none of those words, you don't equate any of those words with a dollar amount of 10,000, 15,000, right? So, but if for that same dollar amount, you can be in the top 100 million people in the world, a part of this growing network, then you have influence in a growing network. Like, you have a tangible slice of a growing network that is becoming more and more an integrated part of the world. So it's like the trade-off of dollars. There's an infinite amount of dollars, and I know that sounds hyperbolic when people say it, but it truly is. Like, the supply of dollars is controlled by humans and controlled by politics and controlled by just varying outside forces that you as an individual have very little control over. Dollars are, you don't have control over it. It's not a finite network. You can't understand how much influence you have. And once you have it, you're constantly getting diluted down. Bitcoin is the opposite, because everyone that participates in the network, all of the different stakeholders, all involved in the network, and because of the way the monetary policy has been laid out open source on the internet since the very beginning, you're very reasonably sure that the system will continue to operate as it is. And every single day, the incentives stay strong and get stronger for kind of the network to keep the rules, right? So when you get your finite slice of that, you now are a part of the network, and you're a large part of the network. There's like 8 billion people in the world, right? 100 million, the top 100 million is good. And that's, I think, a great floor. And I think then it also, having a stacking goal of kind of like what level of Bitcoin holder you are kind of in the global scheme, helps you really connect that Bitcoin is, yes, both a financial investment, but it's also a philosophical kind of different way of orchestrating value between humans across the entire world. And you have a stake in that network now. When you have a stake in the USD fiat system, you don't have any influence over helping it be a positive system for humans. And so understanding the investment case and the finance case for Bitcoin, combined with kind of the why Bitcoin becoming the world reserve currency can be positive for the world. Understanding both of those things combined is super, super powerful. And so having a stacking goal that puts you at a significant influence portion of the network is positive. And when I say influence portion, I don't mean like influence over the network. I don't mean like you can change the rules. Because again, back in the fiat world, when you have an outsized stake in fiat, you are able to kind of influence politics and influence things, right? I'm not talking about influencing the Bitcoin network. I'm talking about like being a person of influence in the world. And Bitcoin, because it can't be diluted, your influence in the world goes up at a faster rate than kind of stacking dollars sends your influence up in the fiat world. Thanks for watching. A little more laid back, trying a different camera app right now. Hope that was helpful. Go ahead and watch this next one, and remember to smash the like button.